people if they still want to join in. And as you know, like I'm always sending the video after the class. So if you ever miss a class or if you feel like you want to rewatch it, we're always sending it to you. And you can always write me like, I don't know, like once or twice it didn't really work, the link that I sent for some reason. So if it doesn't work, just let me know. All right, so welcome everyone. It's lovely having you all here. Yeah, so I feel like everyone was here. So I talked about that we're gonna do the walking meditation, and today is really like about slowing down and kind of like finding our way back to the breath. And if you've been in my classes this week before, you also know that I've been talking about the breath quite a lot, especially Brahmari breath. But any kind of breath that we're doing in yoga, it always helps to calm down the nervous system, to strengthen our lungs, and that's why I want to have a little bit of a look at the breath, because if we're going to go into kind of like a yin style version of yoga, you need to breathe. You need to be able to use your Ujjayi breath, because otherwise, you know, whenever you're in a stretch that feels really tight, it's very easy to be like, your first reaction be like, and then you just hold your breath and you stop breathing. And that's not what we want to do today. So today we really want to have a way to breathe into the areas that are being stretched. We want to have a way of really releasing, like stretching out. And so, yeah, we're going to start with a little bit of Ujjayi breathing. So I'm just going to adjust the computer a little bit. All right. So for this breath, I think everyone has done it with me before, but in case you have never done it, Ujjayi breath is kind of like the basic breath for yoga. And how you're doing it is like you're tightening the throat. So rather than just inhaling and exhaling like you would normally do, like just about like 1 second, maybe if you're breathing really long, it's 2 seconds. You're starting to breathe like you're tightening here, and then you're breathing into your chest. It's like, and you're starting to really expand the ribcage, and then you're exhaling in. Now, sometimes if people don't do it right, like what happens is they do something like this. And that's not what we're going for. So like your shoulders should never go up towards your ears. Your shoulders stay actually completely relaxed. So it's a bit like you know, when you want to do this like sound, but you're doing it with your lips closed. And we're gonna start classic, as we always do, in coherent breathing. So we're inhaling for 5 seconds, and then we're exhaling for 5 seconds. And then we're starting to slowly increase that a little bit. So for the beginning of today's class, you can just come into a comfortable seated position. You're bringing your hands onto your knees. I'm just gonna go a little bit more. Good, yes, all right. So you can bring your hands onto your knees and just allow your eyes to close and your shoulders to relax. And just take a few normal deep breaths. And remember, so today's class is all about arriving in the present and connecting with your breath. So you're just allowing your eyes to close and your face to relax. You start to draw your awareness inwards to the here and now. You're relaxing your face, the area around the eyes, the cheeks and the jaw. And then from here, we're starting with our Ujjayi breath. And first, we're gonna take a normal deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. And exhale out through the mouth. Good. And then from here, slowly start your Ujjayi breath. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. And then we're gonna take a normal deep breath in through the nose. Hold it again. And exhaling out. And relaxing. And just take a few normal deep breaths in. Stay with your eyes closed. Stay centered in the present moment. Relaxing the face, relaxing the head. And then we're gonna start elongating that breath. So we're gonna do a second round where we will inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 10 seconds. So take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. And exhale out through the mouth. And then inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. Exhaling 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause for 1, 2. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding 1, 2. Exhaling 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then keep your eyes still closed. Just take a normal deep breath and bring your arms over your head. Exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart. Inhaling again, lifting your arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Last one. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart. And then whenever you're ready, you're slowly starting to open your eyes again. So this is the breath that we want to do throughout the practice. And we're going to work today a lot on like opening the hips and opening the chest. So we're starting with the hips first. So we're going to place the right shin parallel to the short side of the mat. See how it's parallel? And then if you can, bring your left shin on top like this. If that doesn't work, you can place it in front of you. So like if your knee does something like this, you can just place it in front of you. And then take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, and exhale, start to lean forward. And you just go as far as you can until you feel a stretch in your left hip. And you can let your head hang and just take your breath again, breathing in and out into your hip. Just taking a few breaths. You can go all the way down if you can. You can also hold. You can hold your chin like this. Just find a way to stretch out your left hip. And just take a few deep breaths here. You can close your eyes, you can simply become present, feeling the stretch in your left hip. Little by little, you're relaxing your shoulders and your neck. You can feel that stretch in your left hip, in your left butt cheek. The more you draw your chest forward, the more of a stretch you will feel. But keep your shoulders relaxed and just breathe. Just staying present with that stretch. Just taking a few deep breaths here. And again, you might feel quite a big stretch, or maybe this feels very easy and relaxed. You can also go all the way down if your flexibility allows it. So see what feels nice and comfortable enough to stretch. And in yin poses, we're always holding the poses longer than we normally do. So if you notice your thoughts coming up of like, oh, when is this pose going to be over? Just let it go. Let that thought go. Watching only the breath. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Just a few more breaths. Good, and then from here, slowly, slowly start to come back up. Good, and shake out the legs. And then we're just gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So this time we're gonna place the left shin down, placing the right shin on top. Again, lengthening the back and exhale, slowly coming down into our seated position. Okay. And you might find that one side is a little bit stiffer than the other side. So for me, this side is needs a little bit more stretch than the other side. It might be the same for you. Maybe you felt it more on the other side before. And again, you want to relax yourself as much as you can, and you're just breathing, taking those deep, long breaths, relaxing the neck. Letting your shoulders relax, lengthening the spine. Watching your thoughts. You might know that the thoughts are trailing off, and you just gently bring them back to the breath. Maybe you notice how you can start to sink a little bit deeper, just relaxing into that pose. Then you very slowly start to come back, gently lifting back up. Good, shaking out the legs again, very gently. We're gonna keep on working a little bit longer on the hips. So this time we're gonna again bring the right knee down to the floor and we're gonna bring the left knee on top. So for cow head, and we're gonna bring the arms forward. We're gonna draw the right arm underneath the left. We're gonna interlace the fingers. We're gonna draw the hands forward. I'm gonna show this a little bit from the side. So you wanna draw your elbows forward and up and your shoulders backwards and down. And then if you can, so if you feel a really big stretch in your shoulders already, stay here. Otherwise, you can slowly round your back until you feel a nice stretch around the shoulder blade area. And again, you're just breathing into the area of your body that is being stretched. Use your breath, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Really align the opening of that area to happen. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the face, you're just stretching out. Good, and from here, slowly, slowly start to come back, unwinding, bring your hands behind your back and just opening the chest. Look up towards the ceiling, let your chest sink forward, let the shoulders roll back. You can have your hands in a mudra by just placing the index fingers together. If you like, you can spend your whole class with your eyes closed, really drawing your awareness inwards, forgetting about the outer world, connecting with the inside. And then from here, slowly release. And again, we're just gonna change. So we're just gonna shift the legs. We're gonna place the right knee on top of the left. So we're gonna bring the left arm underneath the right. We're interlacing the fingers, and again, bring your elbows forward and up, and your shoulders backwards and down, and then round in your spine. Imagine you're letting your Ujjayi breath travel to the shoulder blade area and your upper back. And you know, like you will always find a pose that will not feel like it's a massive amount of stretching happening, and you will find poses where you feel like, oh yeah, I can really feel the opening. And everyone is a little bit different, so your experience might not be the same as your fellow students. That's okay. In this class, we're not trying to judge, we're just observing. Maybe you can round your back even more, stretching out a little bit more. And from here, very slowly start to lift back up again. Bring your hands again behind your back, interlacing the fingers if you like. Again, place your hands into a mudra by placing the index fingers together and lifting up with your chin. Notice the openness of your chest, of your heart space. Relaxing the face. Good. And from here, slowly, slowly start to release. Good. And because we want to work today on grounding on the hips and on the feet, we're borrowing a little bit from our fascia releasing class. So we're going to take the right shin on top of the left thigh, and we're starting to massage our right foot. Hopefully with that warm weather, you've already started to walk out in the grass, in the forest, wherever you can, a little bit of barefoot walking. If you haven't already tried to do it, try to Walk in nature, walk barefoot in nature. Just make sure there are no ants when you do that. I'm talking from personal experience. Good. And then you can also massage that, where you can press a little bit deeper into the sole of your foot. You might notice that there's quite a lot of tension. Can happen. Beautiful. All right. And then we're going to bring the fingers of the left hand and we're going to weave them through the toes. So this is again to spread the toes to get more space into your foot. We're lengthening the spine. We're going to hold the right hand underneath the right knee and we're going to just gently start to circle our right foot. And again, you can do this very slow, especially if you close your eyes and you just notice the rolling of your ankle. You don't have to think about anything else except for letting your spine lengthen and your shoulders relax. And then we're going the other way around. So this is really about, again, creating space in the ankle joint and stretching the fascia on the hip and the knee. Good. And then from here, bring your attention towards the right knee and inhale, draw the right knee up. And exhale, letting it sink a little bit down. So you can push it ever so gently. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And you might notice that little by little, while you're doing this, there's a bit more movement, a bit more space coming into your hip. Inhale, lift. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Just keep on going. Keep floating here. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now let your toes go. Bring your right knee into your right elbow. Right foot either into your left hand or left elbow. And inhale, we're going to twist towards the right. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, opening up. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale back. And again, allow your eyes to close. Don't think about anything but the present moment. Notice the softness, the gentleness of this movement. Notice the tenderness of this moment where you're hugging your own body. Feel how little by little the hip joint is starting to release. There's a little bit more space. Good. And then from here, we're slowly letting go. We're going to place the right leg down. We're going to just lean back and feel a bit into our legs. See if the legs feel a bit different. And you might even notice like here, you can see it a little bit. Can you see that? That the foot is almost a little bit longer. The right leg is a little bit longer than the left. And that's because we're releasing or we're creating space in the hip joint. So we're going to do the same thing now on the left. And again, just start with a nice massage. I'm a massive fan of massaging my feet. I'm an even bigger fan of having my feet massaged, but you know, we take what we get. And it's just a really nice feeling, giving a little bit of care to your feet. Normally an area where maybe we're not taking too much attention, or we're not paying too much attention to. And here we're just gonna roll it out, releasing. And then we're going to weave the fingers of the right hand through the toes. We're going to bring the left hand underneath the left knee and we're going to slowly start to circle. Good. And again, you can relax your shoulders, you can close your eyes, just feel into that circle. of your ankle, and then go the other way around. Softening the breath, anchoring deeper and deeper within your body. And then you draw your awareness to the knee, and you're gonna inhale, you draw the left knee up, and exhale, you're slowly pressing the left knee down. Inhale, lift. Exhaling down. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift. Exhaling down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Just creating the space in your hip. Exhale. Inhaling, lift. And exhaling down. Good. And then letting go of your foot. Bring your knee into your left elbow and the left foot into the right hand or right elbow. And again, just inhale, we're opening up. Exhaling down. Inhale, opening up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. And then here slowly come back. Place your foot down onto the floor and just relax. Notice the difference between before and now. And then from here we're starting to open the legs. If you're having trouble sitting up straight, and what I mean with that is like sitting up like this rather than this, you can bring a blanket underneath your hips. Remember, we haven't flowed or anything yet, so your hips might still be a bit tight, but we just want to see what we can do by breathing into that space. So we're gonna lengthen the spine, and then from here, we're just opening up as wide as we can, and then exhaling. We're slowly starting to sink forward, and you just go as far as your hip allow it. Again, you might go quite far, you might go all the way down to the floor, you might want to stay here. Whichever pose you choose. Again, allow your eyes to close and use your Ujjayi breath. So we're gonna stay a little while in this pose. So you might really like just close your eyes, forget about the world, and stay with your breath. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And remember how we're using, a lot of time we're using those mantras, those kind of like words that we can, you know, take to open up. So here again, you might inhale, open. Exhale, release. Inhaling space. Exhale, letting go. Inhaling, open. Exhale, sinking deeper. Inhale, open. Exhale, letting go. So see what kind of mantra works for you. Just concentrating on your thoughts, on your breath. You're melting into this shape. Relaxing deeper and deeper. Doesn't matter how low you can go, you just want to be present. Allow your neck and your shoulders to soften. Allowing yourself to be present. And you can close your eyes. Just watch your breath.
You might feel a deep stretch in your hips. You might notice a gentle stretch along the shoulder blades whenever you inhale as well. If you notice a little bit of tension around the knees, you might want to bend the legs just a tiny little bit or go a little bit further up with your upper body. It can sometimes happen that we feel quite a lot of stretch here on the inside of the knees. Almost done. We're just going to do a few more breaths, about a minute and a half. Notice what your emotional reaction is to such a pose. How do you react to opening the hips? Is there a lot of resistance? Not just physical, but also psychological. Do you feel confident to release, or is there maybe some anger or frustration coming up? You might notice other emotions as well. You might actually notice becoming quite emotional throughout those hip openers. We're almost done. Just keep on breathing. Letting yourself sink deeper and deeper. You're doing really well. And then from here, very slowly, use your hands to gently come back. Take your time. Bring your hands underneath your knees to help you bring the legs back. You can just bend your knees. You're going to give yourself a little hug, and you can rest your forehead on your knees. Giving your body a hug, giving yourself a little hug. Knowing that you're doing all right. But what you're doing right now is very deep. Requires a lot of kindness and compassion and patience. And then from here, slowly, slowly release. Good. And gently come on to all fours. Gently starting with cat and cow. So we're going to inhale a little up. And exhale, rounding. And since this is about introspection and slowing down, try to do this slow. Really feel every movement of your spine going towards the edge of the pose, so until you can go no further, and then you're changing again. And again, you want to do this change fluidly. That means the movement always starts to happen in your lower back and then gently starts to travel up the spine until it finally reaches the neck, not the other way around. So the movement never happens or begins in the neck. See how, like, when I move back, I first round in the spine and then I bring the chin to the chest. So just a few more of these very slow movements. Again, this practice is best done with your eyes closed, because that's when you can truly become aware of all the sensations, both, again, in your head and in your body. And exhale. Now, I'm going to show this from the front. So this is a pose that I like to normally teach
in class when I can correct you. So I'm gonna show you both versions. You can do the first version, which is absolutely doable for everyone, or you can try the second one, especially if you've done it with me before, you know what you have to look for. So just wait a moment until you can go into it. This is kind of like a variation of needle to thread. So we're gonna inhale, we're gonna lift the right arm up, and then exhale, you will bring the right hand underneath the left shoulder. You're placing your shoulder on the floor and your left arm forward. So that's the first variation, and this is a very, I think a doable pose for everyone. Now, if you want to go stronger, and you feel like safe doing that, you can bring your left foot towards the right hand. Now, again, it doesn't matter whether your hand and your foot meet, like your foot could also be somewhere here, but you want to have your leg engaged so that you're not rolling over to the other side. And then you're gonna place the back of your head down to the floor so that you look straight up towards the ceiling, and then you can feel how my left arm already wants to go towards the right. And again, here, don't do something like this. When you want to open up, you roll your shoulder open and then you look up. Doesn't really matter whether your hand comes all the way down to the floor. With time, you will notice that that stretch starts to happen. And then, yes, I'm going to show you how to come out again. Like you're going to bring the left hand back, taking your time very slowly. And you're lifting up and you're coming up. So I hope this is clear. I'm gonna practice the second version again with you. I'm gonna also show it from the other side. But don't feel like you have to do the second version. It's absolutely fine to stay in the first version. Good, so now I have to do it like this. So we're gonna bring the left arm up, and as we're gonna bring the left hand underneath the right shoulder, and we're gonna place the left shoulder onto the floor, and you're gonna bring the right arm forward. And you can, either way, if you want to go to the second version or not, you're gonna stay here for a moment and just breathe. Just allow your shoulders to open up. If you know you're gonna stay in this version, then you can again close your eyes and just enjoy that stretch. Here we're trying to release tension in the upper back. You can just let your upper back sink towards the floor. So rather than holding it up, you're gonna release. Using your Ujjayi breath, relaxing the whole left shoulder, the whole left arm. If you feel like you want to attempt the second version, and I'm repeating myself again, you don't have to, you don't want to. But if you want to, you bring your right foot towards the left hand. It doesn't matter whether you can actually reach or not, but have your foot on the floor. And then you so proud.
Ich habe andere gesagt, ich mache Stummfälle und nachher schaue ich weiter.
Rolling over, sorry. Just gonna mute everyone again.
I mean, I'm just trying to be. Ich merke einfach vom Sitzen den ganzen Tag alles mir weh.
Good. Keep going. Good. Really opening up. If you're in the second version, give yourself some time. This is a really intense pose. It will take a little bit of time to really get comfortable with it. Making sure the back of your head is really on the floor and you're looking up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. We're staying a little bit longer. If you feel like the second version is too intense, you can always go back into the first version again. I like the second version because it goes really deep underneath the shoulder blades. But you might prefer the first version because you can relax a little bit better. Deep breaths. Inhale for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5.
And then if you're in the second version, very slowly bring that right hand back. If you're in the first version, you can also slowly bring the right hand back down. And then very, very slowly start to come up onto all fours. Take your time. And while you're in this pose, in your all four pose, just take a moment to unwind the spine, to relax the shoulders, rolling the head from side to side. And see if you can feel a difference between your right shoulder and your left shoulder. The shoulder that you stretched out and the shoulder you didn't stretch out. Good, and then we're gonna do the second side now. So this time we're gonna bring the left arm, we're gonna bring the right arm up. Yes, the right arm up, and we're gonna place the right arm underneath the left shoulder. We're gonna place the right shoulder onto the floor. And then from here, we're just gonna lengthen the left arm forward. And we're gonna stay here in the first version for everyone for a while. Just so that your spine can already get adjusted to this upper back twist. Yeah. Relaxing your right shoulder, feeling confident, letting your neck release. And then if you want in the second version, you're going to bring your left foot towards the right hand. You look up towards the ceiling. You're really placing your lower back, the back of your head, that's what I mean, onto the floor. And then you're opening the left arm over to the right. Again, you don't have to do this practice. But if you do it again, breathe those 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Notice how that will help you releasing the spine. That's actually true for both poses. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take just a few more breaths, we're almost done. And then whenever you're ready, slowly, slowly bring your left hand back down to the floor. Really take your time. You don't want to come out too fast. This was a deep stretch. And you're back onto all fours and give yourself a moment to unwind, to release the spine, to relax. And then bring your knees apart and exhale, sink down into a wide like a child's pose and let your head relax onto the floor. Good. And from here, slowly, slowly start to come back up onto your fours. And then from here, we're gonna tuck under the toes and we're gonna lift into the downward facing dog. And we're taking our time here. We're gonna stretch out the legs. You can keep your knees bent if you prefer to stay with your knees bent, or you can lengthen the legs. Whether your heels come down to the floor or not is not important. Just try to keep your spine strong and long and let your head relax. And then again, like we did before, breathing in and breathing out. 5 seconds in. Exhale. Arriving in your downward dog. Inhaling in. Noticing what is happening in your back, in your legs, in your neck, in your mind. And then from here, gently come forward into a plank. Holding the plank here. And then from here, you can decide whether you want to go into Sphinx or into Cobra. So we're going to lower the knees down. And now, remember, Sphinx is on your lower arms. So you're having your elbows underneath your shoulders and you're really relaxing the whole upper back. And you can stay like this. If you feel it's more comfortable to have your head hanging, that is an option. And otherwise, you're coming into Cobra. That's a little bit more of a back bend. It's a little bit more intense to hold. See which version you want to try. Whichever version you do, keep your shoulders relaxed and breathe. And allow that spine to release. If you feel like with time, your spine is starting to become more flexible or more mobile, you can also go a little bit more back with your hands and you're lifting a little bit more up into that back bend. But you don't have to do this from the beginning. And you just breathe. So this is a heart opener, a chest opener, it is a back bend. You might notice that over time, especially if you do the normal Cobra, you can feel your upper arms and your lower arms a lot more than you thought at the beginning. Allow that spine to open up. You might want to go deeper over time if that feels more comfortable, but you should not press yourself into a space that doesn't feel good in your spine. Keep your breath steady. Are you relaxed? Is your body relaxed, or can you relax a little bit more? What are you thinking about right now? Is it somewhere related to the pose, or are you all the way somewhere in the future or in the past? Good. And then you very slowly come back and gently push back into your downward facing dog. Again, take your time. We're not in a hurry. We're just going to lift up into the downward facing dog. And then we're going to lift the left leg up the floor. Exhale. We're going to step the left foot in between the hands. Good. We're going to stay on this low lunge position. You can draw your chest forward. I'm going to show this from the front again, just so everyone sees it. So the more you draw your chest forward, the more you let your hips sink, the deeper the stretch. And then you can place your left hand onto the floor. You're going to draw the right arm up. Good. And then you see if you can draw the right hand a little bit more towards the left, really opening. And then optionally, you can place your left hip onto the floor and let that right knee sink out. And then open even more. If that is too intense, you just stay in the first variation, in the way we came in. So here we're doing everything at the same time. We're stretching the hips, we're opening the chest, we're twisting the spine. So you need quite a lot of breathing going on to sink into that pose. Good, gently come back. And from here, very slowly push back into your down dog. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to lift the left leg off the floor. Exhale, we're stepping the left foot in between the hands. Again, we're going to have both hands on the floor. We're stretching out the right hip. And again, you might find that like one side is much easier to stretch out than the other. That's absolutely possible. If you want, you can place your left foot outside of the left hand to have a little bit more space. Good. And then from here, again, we're going to lift the left arm up. Again, open a little bit more if you can, a little bit deeper than normal. And then again, you can either stay in this variation or you're placing your right hip down and you're opening up. Notice the stretch in your left hip, the openness in your spine. Keep using your breath, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Relax your shoulders, relax the neck. Exhale, gently, gently coming back down. Slowly, slowly pushing back into your downward facing dog. And from here, very slowly, starting to walk your feet in between your hands, coming into a forward fold. Letting your head relax. Releasing more and more into this shape. Use your breath to soften, relax. And then from here, very slowly, start to lift up vertebra by vertebra, bringing the arms up into the sky. And exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart. And from here, just stay in this shape. Keep your eyes closed and just feel the feet pressing into the floor. You can place your arms next to your body. And then see what happens if you lean backwards. Just lean backward as far away as you can. Notice how your core starts to engage, your shins, your toes might come off the floor a little bit. And then you start to lean forward. You can keep your eyes closed, just trust your body that it can balance you. Feel how your thighs, the front, are starting to activate, your toes are pressing into the floor. Inhale, going back. Notice how immediately there's a shift in the muscles. Then you can lean a little bit towards the right.
And going over towards the left. Good. Inhale, coming back. Take a deep breath in, lift your arms up. Bring your feet a little bit apart and exhale, come into chair pose. You can have your arms to the side. We're going to stay here for a moment. I want you to, again, center in a pose. So this is a heart opening pose, if you will. But it's also quite a challenging pose because it requires a lot of strength. Use your breath to center again. If you need a mantra for today, you can be like, I am present. I am strong. 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 Keep holding. I just want to see that we have enough time. Feel your feet pressing into the floor. Don't let the knees come out to the side. They're drawing to the center. Maybe sink a little bit deeper if you can. Keep your core and your pelvic floor activated. Good, and inhale, slowly lifting back up. And exhale by your hands in front of the heart. Good. So now we talked about the walking meditation. I'm not sure we have done it in class. So I just want to introduce you to the walking meditation because especially if you feel like you're having thoughts of anxiety or like you're a bit stressed at the moment, it's a really nice practice to do, especially if you can do it outside in the grass. That's the nicest place. And you know, like when we did it the first time we did it in London, I was like absolutely no pretty space. It was just like blocks and streets and like concrete, but it was still a really nice area because it was wide. And we would do this walking meditation, and a police officer, he started to ask all these questions like, what are the people doing? And my teacher was like, they're walking. And I was like, but what are they doing? And she's like, they're walking. And I was like, why are they walking so slow? So it's a fun thing. You can try it if you really want to challenge yourself. You can try to do it in a public space. So what you need, sorry, I'm talking too much again. What you need is just a little bit of space. And then how this meditation goes, and if you can try to close your eyes while doing so. It's a little bit challenging because you will see as we're lifting the leg really slowly, it requires quite a lot of balancing. But basically, you're repeating a mantra while you're moving again. So we're going to inhale, we're going to lift, 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 placing, placing, placing. So you place your heel down, placing the foot, rest, rest, rest. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, 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 rest. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, 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 rest. So you always want to rest in between the steps. You don't want to have the second foot already off the floor. So you can start to just go a little bit longer. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, placing, placing. Rest. If you can close your eyes, try. It's a little bit of fun, and you can walk in circles if you like. Inhale, lifting, 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 placing, placing, placing. Stop. Inhale, lifting, 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 placing, placing, placing. Stop. Especially if you turn around, you will have quite a lot of concentration. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, placing, placing. Stop. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, placing, placing. Stop. And just concentrate on this mantra. Say to yourself, I don't want to spoil your rhythm, but just concentrate on your walking. Making sure that both feet stay on the ground. It's not like you're starting to walk with the second foot while the first foot is still coming down. That's important. So you want to repeat the stop movement. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, 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 stop. Don't skip that part. Concentrate on your steps. Is it easy for you to concentrate on the walking? Are you starting to think about other things? Can you come back? Just gonna do it for a few more minutes. If you can close your eyes now, really staying focused on that walking. Feeling the ground beneath you. Feel your connectedness to the earth. Notice yourself becoming more and more grounded with every step you're taking. Enjoying the slowness of the movement. Nothing is random, everything has a purpose. Every breath, every step, and every pause. You can close your eyes. When you start to become more familiar with the movement, your balance starts to improve. Keep going. Remember to do the pause in between your steps. That's really important. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Placing, 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 pause. Good. And then slowly, slowly, really slowly, walking your way in that fashion back to your mat. You don't have to hurry. Whenever you're at your mat, you can slowly start to calm down. If you can, keep your eyes closed. And find your way into seated position. As I said, you can keep your eyes closed. If you're still walking, just take your time, finding your way back. If you're already seated, just draw again inwards. Like how did that practice make you feel? If you're quite a fast-paced person, you might have noticed that there was a little bit of resistance, that there's a part of you that wants to just keep going. Or maybe you felt like, oh, that was just what I needed. I just needed to ground, just needed to arrive. And then for the last pose before Shavasana, I gave you two options. Both are hip opener. One is a bit more hard opening, one is a more intense hip opener. So the first option that you have, this is the gentler version. We've done it a few times already during the past weeks. Is you're having your feet together, your knees come out, you're lying down, and your arms are out to the side. That's the first version.
The second version is a bit more intense. You might want to then swift, what is the word? So that you have your knees on a mat, and that's frog person. And for frog, you're gonna bring your knees as far apart as you can. You're placing the toes together, and you're lowering your belly down to the floor. So I'm showing this now also from the side. So your knees are apart, you're lowering your belly onto the floor. So your hips are not in the air, your hips coming down. You're lowering all the way down, and then you can place your feet together and place them slowly towards the floor. So you might want to go all the way down to the floor. You might say here, if you're extremely flexible in your hips, you might be able to do a 90-degree angle like this. I'm not, but like you might be. Everyone's hip is a bit different. So see which version of the hip opener you want to do, the first version or the frog version. And then again, just give yourself some time to come into that hip opener. If you're in the frog, really have your belly on the floor. Your belly is on the floor. Your hips are on the floor, yes. And you might notice that your feet are coming up, that's okay. So you're just gonna bring the feet up, and then you're letting yourself relax, and you're starting to bring the feet further down. You can just relax your head. Just a few breaths here. Whichever version you do, you want to use your breath to center in the pose, so 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Notice how with every exhale, you're relaxing more into the pose. We're gonna hold this pose for about 2 more minutes. One more minute. Try to breathe through the intensity of the pose rather than letting it hinder you from becoming present. That's the nice thing about this practice, right? Like it's quite intense, and at the same time, it's a great teacher to become relaxed, even if there's discomfort. Because our first reaction is always to run away, and in yin, we're actually looking at the intensity. So we're actually enjoying that stretch. Maybe you notice like, yeah, there actually is an opening in my hip. There is a bit of a release. And then whenever you're ready, you're slowly releasing your legs, you're letting your feet come out to the side. Good. If you're on frog pose. And then you bring your knees together and you're slowly coming back up. Take your time. Good. And then from here, Everyone slowly come back onto the mat, and we're just gonna come into a child's pose one more time. We want to give our hips the moment to rest and our spine to lengthen again. So coming to the child's pose again. And when you're ready, slowly start to come back up. And from here, very slowly, find your way down into Shavasana. Allowing yourself to relax onto the mat. Letting your legs come about mat width apart. You bring your arms either to the side or onto your belly and your heart. Making sure you're completely comfortable. And then let yourself sink into the mat. Breath by breath, you're relaxing into this pose. You can feel your forehead and the eyes soften. Relaxing the cheeks and the jaw. Softening the neck and the throat. The shoulders and the chest. Relaxing the arms and the hands. Melting the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back into the floor. Relaxing the chest and the belly. Softening the hips and the buttocks. Releasing the thighs, the knees, the shins and the calves, the ankles, the heels and the feet. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. And then slowly start to bring your awareness back to the here and now. Gently start to move your toes and your fingers, rolling your head from side to side. And whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in, bring your arms over your head. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. draw your forehead towards the knees. Exhale, releasing down. And from here, gently come over your favorite side, back into a seated position. If possible, keep your eyes still closed. Just bringing your hands back onto the knees. Drawing the focus one more time inwards. And we're closing today's class with 3 Om. You can take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out. And inhaling for Om. From here, bring your hands in front of the heart. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you all so much for joining. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're feeling a little bit more grounded, a little bit more centered. Try to do this walking meditation whenever you have time, allowing yourself to be present. And then I wish you a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.
Danke.
Ciao.